What a load of bollocks.
Podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the Voice of the People. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
You know the saying, stay hungry, stay humble.
BoxingVoice.com.
I'm humble in defeat, and I'm going to remain humble in victory. This is it, right?
Saudi Bianchi Productions.
I just wanted to put on a great boxing masterclass
BoxingVoice.com.
and also show the sweet science of this lovely sport. Man, the first time was so nice, I had to do it twice.
I'm prepared to the best of my capability, and I pray that I get the win. Look at it, like, I love Mike Tyson, how he came into the game on some different kind of vibe. You know what I mean, man? It takes a crazy man to want to fight, you know what I mean, day in, day out. The hardcore sport, as you said, no silk shoes.
Ain't no other sight in the game to see the boxing boys.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is Sunday morning, spontaneous morning show. We bringing it back. You know, back in the days when boxing was great, we would get a fantastic Saturday night fight, and TBV would come back and do the morning after thoughts the next day. And wow, with a night of boxing like yesterday and a knockout like last night's, why not come back to talk some boxing? Alexander Povetkin KOs Dillian Whyte in the 5th round, changing the division landscape, changing the divisional rankings, putting a halt to the hashtag 600 days. So much has changed, man. I played that Anthony Joshua intro because, like Joshua says, man, stay hungry, stay humble. I'm humble in defeat, and I'm humble in victory. So, you know, it seems like karma is biting a lot of these guys in the butt. You know, when Joshua lost, right? Wilder laughed. He said he wasn't a real champion. Karma set out to teach him a lesson and humble him. When Wilder lost, Dillian Whyte laughed and said he wasn't a real champion. And karma seeked him out and now has humbled him. You know, I guess the great part about this weekend is showing to not only the boxing world, but specifically to the UK, and unfortunately I am generalizing, but a lot of the UK boxing fans like to discredit Luis Ortiz and say he's old and he's, you know, nothing and this and that. And I seen that theme in the build-up for the Dillian Whyte fight. I seen that theme with Povetkin. Oh, he's 40 years old. A lot of Americans and Wilder fans frustrated with the UK fans. So they tried to hit them with their own medicine and say, okay, well, if Wilder fought an old guy, look at what Dillian Whyte is fighting, you know? And it was this back and forth about who's old, who isn't, who's viable, who isn't. And I just hope that we all take this fight as the barometer to remind ourselves that George Foreman at 40 won a world title, that B-Hop at 40 was unified in the light heavyweight division, and that Povetkin at 40 knocked out Dillian Whyte, and Luis Ortiz at 40 almost knocked out Deontay Wilder, where he had to have a rematch. So, you know, let's stop talking about guys' age and let's start talking about how well they're doing in the ring. Because this 40-year-old dude, a lot of people thought was washed up, especially after the Hunter fight, especially after 2 Dillian Whyte knockdowns in the previous round. You know, that's what made this maximum violence to the T, because Dillian Whyte was being conscious defensively. You know, obviously I let y'all know he was dropping that right hand slightly, ever so slightly, but he was being conscious. He was fighting, in my opinion, defensively better than normal. He was waiting for that left hook, man. Shout out to Alexander Povetkin sneaking that thing in from the bottom. But, you know, there's people out there that like to discredit fighters. You know, they get into this UK America argument and, you know, people talk about AJ. But now, you know, and I'm one of the guys that defends AJ's resume. When people say, oh, well, his resume ain't great, I'm like, you crazy? He's fought all the top fighters. And now look, that Povetkin win looks all the more sexy on AJ's resume. AJ didn't go through this type of hell. So look, man, we got to start to learn our lesson in retrospect. I mean, Povetkin, he came in there and he did what he needed to do to remain relevant. And relevancy is what he brought to his career at 40. You know, he changes the entire timeline, guys. You know, now Dillian Whyte wants this fight this year. So they're going to try and offer. And guess what happens? Now they got to make sure Povetkin says yes. Because, yeah, we all know Ruiz had a contract. We all know all these guys have contracts, but, you know, he holds the keys now. You want to avenge your loss. So they're going to have to make Povetkin happy enough to come right back in December. But thankfully, we're in August. So you figure September 23rd, Dillian already has his month off, you know, starts camp. And we're talking October, November, December. He's got more than enough time. I mean, for Dillian Whyte, though, I mean, I don't know what this means. I want to give him credit because he already sat down with Sky and did a post-fight interview and, you know, said that he wants the rematch and things like that. But he shook a lot of stuff up in his camp. You know, he got rid of his trainer, Mark Tibbs. He brought in Xavier Miller. And then last minute, he had brought in David Caldwell. So, you know, what's going through his mind exactly, no one knows, except that he's showing that he's a dog and that he wants that rematch. Do they get it off? Man? Is he serious when he goes back and thinks about it? Do they? I mean, because look, it was a quick knockout, right? Like, so no one is gonna say that that he needs more time, right? He was in great shape. It was a quick knockout, and maybe he can come back that quick. Or are they gonna rebuild him?
My apologies.
Do AJ and Eddie see money in a Povetkin rematch now that he holds this position? Do AJ and Eddie, right? Do AJ and Eddie fight Povetkin now? Fight Povetkin now for that WBC position so they can force that unification for undisputed and if Tyson vacates, AJ's right there in that WBC mandatory position to catch the title. As the interim champ, he will be elevated. So, yeah, I mean, AJ could always tell Eddie and instruct Eddie to go ahead and make that that Povetkin fight. Offer Povetkin the rematch, take that interim title, and really be right there to catch any of the pieces if they fall. You know, if Tyson decides not to defend, you know, if Wilder wins and now all of a sudden they going into a fourth fight, you know, this could be a plan for AJ and for Povetkin. Definitely, probably the biggest option out there, you know. But just crazy, man, how week to week this heavyweight division could just switch. And that's why it's one of my favorite divisions, man. Not a lot of politics involved, you know. In one way or another, the top are fighting the top. You know, there's no way that, like, there's no situation where one guy is being frozen out like in other divisions, you know. There was some of that, and Wilder forced himself into the mix, and then so did Fury, right? So, you know, politics really don't run this division, and that's why it's really good, because it's punching power that runs the division. Another little thing about karma is, remember, Dillian Whyte didn't want to shake Povetkin's hand. Was that karma? Even though I like that, you know what I mean? We not friends before the fight. Like, we here to fight. But real quick, man, if you guys can go ahead and hit that thumbs up button, because best believe we will not be opening up these phone lines until you get those thumbs up right. Like, come on, where's the love? And don't forget, you can call in at 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 one time if you want to voice your opinion, want to give us your morning afterthoughts now that you've had the 8 hours of sleep to digest what it is that you saw. I'm very interested in hearing everyone's thoughts this morning about what they think they seen take place and what they think will take place moving forward now that this one uppercut has shook up the heavyweight division and changed things drastically. We got what looks like our first super chat of the day. Let me just make sure that is true. Give them a good morning shout out for definitely showing some love and support, and you know, putting out his message here. So it looks like we got Alexander Wilson that says, Mauricio Suleiman said Povetkin didn't take Whyte's position as the mandatory. He has to wait his turn. It looks like the WBC wants AJ Fury. Well, that's how it goes. I said that yesterday, that just because he won, he's not getting the Dillian Whyte contract. I said that, like, that date of February 21st, that's gone. That was Dillian Whyte's mandatory date. Povetkin is the mandatory and the interim champion, but it's not been called because his clock starts over. You understand? So, yeah, they're going to leave that AJ, you know, Wilder Fury potential undisputed slot available. But that's now Dillian Whyte's job to get back in that mix with the rematch of Alexander Povetkin, win by December. But then that'll be a very tough schedule for Dillian. Can you imagine being knocked out yesterday, August, activating the rematch clause, fighting December, taking out Povetkin, and then turning around and fighting again in February 21st? I mean, he's asking a lot of himself, but I hear him. That's the motivation probably that he's going to need to get himself back on that saddle and, you know, get back to the top. Get back to the top. Look, right now he's got a placeholder. He's got a placeholder because of that contract. And it's funny, you know, karma is teaching us all the lessons, you know? Like, a lot of people, you know, Fury fans, Wilder fans first. Wilder fans, we started first. We were like, oh, AJ lost. He should, you know, not do the rematch. He should let, you know, he should let Ruiz and Wilder unify. Then AJ gets his belts back. Wilder loses. And AJ fans are like, oh, Wilder should not take the rematch. He should let Fury and AJ do the undisputed. You know? So it just continues to change, bro. It just continues to change every day. Every day something is different. So we really don't know what could take place. What I can say, I guess, is that AJ is on the chopping block, but he's always humble, right? So is he going to suffer another karma-like defeat? I don't know. You know, like he says, stay hungry, stay humble. And since the loss, he's been humbled. He made the necessary changes in his camp and mentally. So Is he going to drop the ball with Pulev? Bob Arum seems to think so. Bob Arum says, the AJ is next. Kurbret Pulev is going to knock him out, and that the London Bridge is falling down. That is Bob Arum's quote. I'm going to give it to you directly. I paraphrase pretty much, but that's pretty much it. He says, Pulev will KO Joshua next. London bridges are falling down. So, yeah, I was slightly wrong. So, Bob Arum, definitely no Eddie Hearn when it comes to social media, but he definitely took to his Twitter last night to take shots at Dillian Whyte and AJ, because that one was for AJ, but for Dillian, he said Dillian was so busy fighting for his mandatory position that he didn't see Povetkin's uppercut, which knocked him cold on his ass. So the Bob father, definitely chilling. And here goes the official statement from Mauricio. I'm being told that Mauricio, the WBC president Mauricio Suleiman, previously confirmed that if Alexander Povetkin were to win last night, he would not take Dillian Whyte's immediate time frame and instead likely be due as a mandatory a year from now. This clears a big hurdle in the way of Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua or Deontay Wilder versus, Anthony Joshua, because they still have to have that third fight. But I told you that timeline on February 21st is off the table, and now Povetkin waits, but he waits in a pretty comfortable position. The only issue is that if he doesn't ask the WBC to rush it, he could end up being 41-42, depending how old exactly he is today. He could end up being 41-42 when he does face the top of the division. But I'm going to go ahead and open up the phone lines. Once again, Alexander Povetkin KOs Whyte in the 5th round, changing the division with one uppercut. These are our morning afterthoughts. We usually do these after big fights, and damn if this wasn't a big fight. I want to say the biggest fight of the weekend. Nothing really moved the needle like this in terms of entertainment, excitement, and this is just one of the top fights. This is it, Shout out to Chris Congo, got a great win. But and Robert Brandt, but not much on this level out there other than this. But man, the number to call in, 1-425-569-5241. Don't forget, you could also add Nestor Gibbs on Skype to be part of the conversation. And, get it off your chest. Let us know how you feel. Are you upset Dillian Whyte couldn't keep it together, especially when he was winning that fight so clearly? Are you content? Are you like Alex in Australia, who called in on Thursday, made his pick live, and gave you the betting tip that Povetkin was going to be the underdog to upset the apple cart? Really? All you got to do is call in and let us know your thoughts. Number 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 time. Voice your opinion right here. Voice of the People hotline. Don't forget, add Nestor Gibbs on Skype to be part of the conversation from anywhere in the world. Let me see where those thumbs up at. I see people on the phone lines, but I mean, if you want to hear these phone lines open up, get those thumbs up, man. Come on, look at that. Some filthy animal already hit the thumbs down for no apparent reason. Where's the love? Yo, I need to get that Jay-Z soundbite. Ain't no love in the heart of the city. No, 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 no. Ain't no love in the heart of town. Yeah. Sony, you wouldn't know about that, man. You was too busy listening to those other dudes. The clan, the Wu-Tang Clan guys. But good morning, man. Good morning. I cannot complain with last night's action. One of the few days that I wasn't really tired. I even stood up for the Top Rank, you know what I mean? So they gave us some decent action, but again, this fight with Dillian Whyte, pretty much the biggest fight of the weekend. and the most significant fight on rankings wise, you know what I mean? Moving the needle, changing the division and things like that. But let's go ahead and open this up. Let me see where those thumbs up at. I'm going to go ahead and play these sponsors real quick.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
Don't forget, man, dropping that 5-star review is absolutely free. If you already have an iPhone, all you got to do is go to your your podcast app, look up the Boxing Voice, and click on that review, and drop us a 5-star review.
Subscribe to youtube.com/theboxingvoice for the latest and greatest interviews with your favorite fighters.
All right. I mean, it looks like at the time of starting this show, we were at 115,697. I'm going to go ahead and hit that refresh and see did we get to that 700 goal. You know what I mean? Drum roll, please. All right. We did not. We're 3 away from 115,700. So tell a friend we need 3 soldiers or 300 to get us to 116,000. Why be 3 when you can add 2 zeros to that and take us to the very next goal of 116,000? But every subscriber counts. So one at a time. Go ahead and sign up. We'll take those first 3 first to get ahead and put us in that 700 category. But if you haven't already done so, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Come on, it's Sunday morning. We're talking boxing with some great action last week. You know, if you're a hater, then you're happy Dillian Whyte got starched. If you're one of the wolf pack, then you're sad that he got starched. And then there's just guys like me that feel like I'm sad because Dillian was a character in the division. He brought, like, Povetkin took him out and doesn't bring nearly what Dillian brings. Dillian was a UK pay-per-view fighter. Not going to call him a star, but he was selling pay-per-views, right? Decent amount that Sky continued to put him on. And he brought antics to the division. He brought sound bites. He did interviews and got in front of the camera and said the things that make you excited about the division. So, again, karma's a mother, Joe. But, you know, we can't act like we didn't like Dillian Whyte as a bad guy.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! I'm ready!
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
We're going out to ringer status in North Carolina. Josh, what up?
What up, Ness? Early on a Sunday morning, brother. I appreciate you, my man. For sure.
Thank you for getting up
for
with us, champ.
You already know, man. I work with you every day. You know I got that subscription on Sweet Caroline. Oh. Man, that was so great last night. The reason why I hate on Dillian Whyte is because how he's moved, man. He's a hypocrite. He told Deontay Wilder he needs to stop fighting old bums. Said he didn't want to fight Luis Ortiz because he didn't speak English. Well, Alexander Povetkin, he's 40 years old. He don't speak English, but he knocked him spark out. But that was great. But what I'm sitting here was thinking, man, the scenario, man, I'm ready for him. He want a rematch, like a rematch clause for an interim title. That's crazy, but it is what it is. But Dubois, I want to see him fight Dubois, man. Hey, don't you think Dubois gonna spark? Don't you think Dubois can spark him out, Ness?
Man, it's hard to tell, bro. I thought Dillian was doing fantastic until he got, clipped.
That's the thing though about Dillian, man. Come on, bro. That's the thing about Dillian, bro. Like he was doing fantastic last night, but overall he's always been sloppy on his technique. You know what I'm saying? And he's been leaving that. He's been leaving that open ever since when he was.
Cut it.
We got our new ringer, Coach Myers in Connecticut. What up? Coach, so I want to tell you, because yesterday was like, I've been waiting. So we went to you yesterday, so that was your call. Ringer cuts the line, Boomerang gets 2 calls, doesn't cut the line. So, I don't know if there's any available. It's only a $5 increase if you wanted 2 calls. But this is Ringer makes you cut the line. So I'm gonna go ahead and restart the clock. Good morning. What's your afterthoughts, man? Good
Good morning.
fights.
Good morning. Well, it was a great fight. A few things. I think White's defense was great. The only thing about it is every time like he leaned forward, had his hands forward, he was blinded to the uppercut. So I think that kind of shocked him. You know what I mean, more than anything, and just took him out. But also his new weight, like he was like 240 something, correct?
Nah,
So
he
it
was
was like, when's the last
He was
time
like 250, slightly under what he weighed for Rivas. I think 253, and for Rivas he was maybe 258.
Oh, so that's not too bad. I was thinking maybe the weight, hurt his chin a little bit. So, I mean, maybe that's not too bad. But, I mean, the vest thing, hopefully it's not another Wilder thing where the vest weighed too much and it kind of hurt him. But, overall it was a good fight, and that's my call, champ.
All right. Yo, man, that US UK thing it runs so deep. I got Patreon saying, damn, Ness hates the UK when he wakes up to do a morning after show loving Villain's Loss. And that's not true. I was actually typing, but it's hard to run the show alone. Nobody woke up, so I'm solo dolo, Scarface, no Manolo. But I was going to type and say, just go to the channel and type in morning after. We've even done them for Charlo. Listen, a big fight is a big fight. And if a big fight takes place, and if a big fight takes place and it changes the landscape, how could you not talk about it? There was a morning after. We actually did maybe 4 or 5 of these in 2019. If you just put morning after thoughts on our search bar, you'll see at least 4 or 5 of these types of episodes, and they're all on the back of big performances or outcomes. You know what I mean? So if you're calling us on Blog Talk, remember to press 1 at least one time so that we know you want to speak and you're not just listening. Because I see a 623, which looks very familiar, but you have not pressed 1. So, you'll just be in the queue kind of waiting and waiting endlessly. And that's actually Checkmate Boxing. It's been a long time, champ. I'm going to get to you, though. You can't cut that line without being a ringer like Coach Miles in 704. We going to Lewis. What up? Lewis, just listening early morning. It's all good. Coffee and boxing. I get you. Rule 504. What it do?
What's going on, man? Good morning.
Morning.
I just finished up the fights, bro. Wow. I mean, that's crazy. I knew Povetkin would drop Whyte at least once, but I didn't think he would stop him. That was insane. I thought Whyte would at least still get the win after he got dropped. And then my guy Gallimore lost. This is a rough night for Jamaica, bro.
Yeah, man. Jamaica got put off the map yesterday.
I know. But anyway, it's a great night of fights. You guys did a good job on all the fight chats. So listen to all that stuff this morning and watch the fights. But keep up the good work.
Thank you, man. Yeah, listen. A lot of people, shout out to everybody that shared the show on their Instagram, man. We always asking you guys to share the show on your social media. A lot of guys tagged us on our reaction of Whyte actually getting clipped with that left hook. So we reposted it on our story. Yeah, man. So just shout out, man. Shout out to everybody that continues to support and try to make us grow. We're going out to Sony, the commish. What up?
Hey, yo, good morning. That's what's good.
What up? What up?
Nothing much. Yo, that was a great night of boxing. And you know what, man? I deserve every bit of punishment I'm about to get in those pro league rankings. Because my theory was that I was going to go the underground route and hoping I was going to snatch some upset victories, and I was like, Clay Coward, Dillian, and the biggest hurt was me going against my boy Sean Porter because I'm a Sean Porter fan. But I thought that I thought he was going to get robbed of a victory. I don't know why. I just thought that. I thought they was going to be on the Formello train, and it was going to go to a decision, which it did, and I thought they was going to snatch it away from Porter. And you know what? So I deserve all the punishment I'm about to get in Mitty's rankings. I don't even think I want to see those, bro. I'm gonna be crying. But yo, that was a good night of boxing. Thanks for the morning show and keep it moving.
All right, champ. All right. Thanks for calling in. Looking like we will go to Stonebone Boxing, Colorado. What up?
Shocking. Disappointing. All I can think about is Dillian. I don't want to say he stalled his career, but when he came over here and he fought on Bud Undercard and he was looking at deals with Al Heyman for the Wilder fight, he probably should have took it. All these guys who sitting around, unless you have a certain ilk and caliber where you're the attraction, you better start taking these opportunities to get these championship shots. He should have fought whoever he had to get that Wilder shot. Fighting I don't agree with Bob a lot, but he been fighting for that mandatory spot instead of actually just trying to fight to be the champion. His whole objective been maintaining that, and Povetkin's whole job was to upset that, and he did it. So Dillian Whyte, man, I wanted him. I wish that would have been Wilder so bad.
Yo, is that crazy? A lot of Wilder fans saying that, man, calling in and saying that. Steve, UK.
Yeah, how's it going, Ness?
All good, all good.
Yeah, man. Not shocked. I did call this yesterday. I just couldn't partake in the picks on Patreon as I've been driving abroad. But White's susceptible for it, and Povetkin's a dog. And you're right. Don't underestimate people just purely based on their age. But against the title of the show, I genuinely don't think anything's changed until the rematch is either A, White ducks the rematch, or B, Povetkin beats him. If we believe that Wilder's going to take the rematch, then Fury has to take that, then Povetkin has to take the rematch before he even gets the mandatory shot, right?
Yeah, well, what's already changed is that the timeline is gone. That's guaranteed done. Unless somehow Dillian wins by December and then is capable of fighting again by February 21st, the timeline's already pushed back. According to Mauricio Suleiman, just because Povetkin won, he does not get Dillian Whyte's February 21st mandatory date.
Yeah, I get that, but I think in terms of what the landscape holds for the heavyweight division, we're still waiting on Fury and Wilder and AJ Pulev before any of the other players.
But you gotta admit, brother. Listen. You gotta admit that by Whyte losing, the quote unquote pressure and litigations. Oh, if Wilder doesn't take the fight by December, Dillian could sue because he's got to be given a shot the 21st of February. That's gone. So absolutely, the division has changed.
I mean, I see your point on that. I still think all of this quote unquote pressure litigation, this is all mind games from Top Rank, from Fury's side, and Eddie itself. I think we all know that pre-COVID and post-COVID, Wilder Fury has to happen and AJ Pulev has to happen before anything else changes.
All right, Steve, thanks for calling in. Looks like we are going to JT. Well, you just jumped in. Let me go to Stunner in Jersey. Stunner, keep it clean, champ. I know you be getting ham in the morning.
Troll. Yeah, now, look, I'm not even going to talk shit about Whyte, all right? I could talk a lot of shit, but I ain't going to say nothing crazy. You know what I mean? He fought Povetkin. He lost. I probably would have guessed it. But some observations I've seen from the fight. Now, the fact that this dude got knocked out with a left uppercut by 6 foot Povetkin, and then he got knocked out by 6'6" Anthony Joshua with the same uppercut. That's alarming. Second, the fact that Povetkin at this age was able to compete and do what he did to Whyte, I don't, you know what I mean? I don't think we should all be using this age against people anymore. You know what I mean? I think we need to get Luis Ortiz a fight, whether that be against a Whyte or a Ruiz or whatever. I think that
Or a
we need
Povetkin.
or
Battle of the old dudes. Let's see if they really old.
well, the reason I say I'm talking realistically, since Povetkin might be fighting White again, and Ruiz is, I think, fighting Areola. I mean, whoever's the next best up, I think we should push for him to fight Ortiz. I don't know who that is off the top of my head, but
I wouldn't
yeah,
mind Brazil Ortiz.
I wouldn't mind it either. Is there anybody better than Brazil though?
Hellenius beat Adam. He deserves it.
Oh, what about let's get Hellenius versus Ortiz?
Yeah.
That'd be good. But
because Hellenius, he's not even ranked in the WBC. At least Lewis is still number 3 there. Damn. Rankings already changed, y'all. Let me screen share. Yo, WBC ain't playing. Look at what it say there. Alexander Povetkin, WBC champion. That was updated rápido.
Last thing I'm gonna say though is this Joe Smith Jr. versus Better Be fight. That shit gonna be crazy, man.
Joe Smith Jr. Better Be. Oh yeah, I mean,
Better Be's the favorite. Better Be's the favorite, but it's gonna be a good fight.
Yeah, I mean, Joe's a little flat-footed for Better Beef, but look, Joe's probably the biggest puncher Better Beef has faced, and we've seen him go down by. Oh shit, I'm screen sharing again. Gave you all my sound bites there. Now the competition knows. Yo, so yeah, Better Beef has been down by lesser men. So yeah, maybe if Joe can connect, there can be something there. Remember the number to call in, 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 time. Voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline. Don't forget, you could also add Nestor Gibbs on Skype. It's the morning afterthoughts. Alexander Povetkin KOs Dillian Whyte in the 5th round. And in my opinion, changing the heavyweight landscape and continuing to show us why the heavyweight division is the best division. People like to say, oh, these other divisions got skill. And, bro, skill is when you can avoid being knocked out in a division where anyone can punch. We're going out to Checkmate Boxing. What up?
Ness, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Give me my observations on it. Well, first of all, I never thought Dillian Whyte was elite in the first place. So to me, it gave me great joy. Although I wanted him to win because I wanted to get the satisfaction of Wilder knocking him out because he run his mouth too much. The Brits been getting a little too big for their britches. So, it was very enjoyable. However, I say like this, he wasn't elite. If you look at the Derek Chisora fight, Derek Chisora was winning that entire fight. And just like Povetkin, just one punch changed it. So I never considered Dillian Whyte elite. Again. So, but it was enjoyable. I would love to see Povetkin versus Ortiz. I think they're in the same category age-wise. Ortiz may have a little bit more skill, but I think that would be a great fight. Who knows if Dillian Whyte is going to even accept that. I know they're talking about they want the rematch right away, but you never know what's going on with it mentally and emotionally.
See, that's the issue I got, man. It's the Miguel Cotto syndrome, and you guys don't know what that is, and I'll explain. Checkmate Boxing just did it, and when it's done to you, you don't like it, but you guys continue to do it, turning it into this vicious circle. First he comes on and says, I never thought Dillian Whyte was elite, which is a complete lie. Look at his resume. It's a complete lie. You understand? So how can we say Dillian is an elite with everyone that he's faced, but turn around and say in the same breath, Crawford is pound for pound? Like, we got to stop this nonsense, you know what I mean, of putting people down just because. It's crazy, bro. Like, I don't know, man. He was winning the fight. Like, people give Khan credit for winning the fight with Canelo till he gets knocked out, but Dillian is such a villain that he's getting zero credit now. Come on, bro. You guys are kidding me. I still want to see Dillian versus motherfucking Deontay Wilder. They still got a score to settle. Like, just because my brother beat you don't mean I beat you. Like, I need to beat you still. You still was talking crazy about me. Like, I still want to fight you. You know what I mean? So I don't get it. Like, Dillian is a top heavyweight, man. He's a top heavyweight. Show me Gerald Washington's resume looking like Dillian's or Charles Martin's looking like Dillian's. Come on, man. Like, yo, he lost. He lost. So what? And that's why I'm happy it's happening across the board, you know? Like I said, it started with AJ, and the UK had to be humbled. The UK had to be humbled. Then we gloated too much when AJ lost. We got too happy, and, you know, we celebrated too much. AJ turned around and won, and then Karma said, smack, here you go, Wilder fans. Here you go, America. You want to talk? Talk? Well, now it's your turn to be humble. And then the UK turned around, and instead of learning their lesson from AJ, they started to rip us again. Aha, Wilder, 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 Wilder. And Karma is she's so good and specific with detail that Dillian Whyte walked out with a puffy vest and then gets knocked out. And his own fans now running around saying that his vest weighed too much. You understand? So we need to be careful. So the next person to be calmed, to be humbled, in my opinion, is Ruiz. First thing he did was a laughing out loud emoji. That was it. And I know that was pretty simple and not too much, and maybe Karma might skip him, but maybe she won't. Because Ariola ain't no joke, and he gave Adam Kovnacki hell. So, let's see. Let's see. You know? But there's other guys out there. Just keep in mind that Javante and Crawford and Earl, they all, whenever people fighting, they all tweet, and they tweet what they think. So, you'll see. We'll see if Karma continues to get at everybody or is just really the fighter, you know? But so far, it's looked like we've been taught to learn our lesson. Both sides of the pond. You know what I mean? Both sides of the pond. But let me get to what looks like some new callers. Maybe this is not a new caller. I didn't even check all here. Let me see. Oh no, that is Jacory. What up, Kentucky? Good morning.
Good morning, Ness, man. What's going on?
Chilling, man. Chilling.
Hey, man.
Digesting his news.
I just want to let you know. Yeah, man. I just wanted to let you know, man. It was great commentary, man. I was on all the live fight chats last night. I haven't called in much as I used to because of my work schedule. But yeah, man. Just wanted to let you know, good work. And like I said, I agree with you. You know, most of the time, Dillian Whyte, I'm with you. He is a good fighter. He lost, but Ness, he talks so much, man. And I wanted Wilder to drop that, man. I still want Wilder to fight that, man.
But that's
I want to
why.
ask you something.
That's why, Jacory. That's why we can't diss him. Because if we start saying Dillian Whyte was never the top fighter, oh, Dillian Whyte was always a bum, then why is Wilder gonna consider him as a fight? We can't do that. We gotta say that, yo, I still want to see that Wilder-Whyte fight. Can Whyte put Wilder down? Can Wilder not get hit with that left hook? Can Whyte take Wilder's power? I still want that. Like, if people Stunner called in talking about, yo, I'll take Luis Ortiz versus Povetkin. So you gonna say we gonna watch that, but we can't watch Wilder-Whyte?
Yeah, that's a good point. Hey, and one thing, man, before I get clipped, I know Whyte was like thinking about a change in trainers. Do you think that had anything to do with his performance?
Well, he did change, bro. He got rid of Mark Tibbs, and then he hired Xavier Miller and David Caldwell fight week.
Hey, man, I think they had a lot to do with it, but that's my call, man. I know you got other calls. Thank you for getting me in on the morning show, man, and I'm going to continue to support the show and keep up the good work, man.
Thank you, brother. Thank you just for listening, man. We appreciate it. If you haven't already done so, drop a 5-star review on iTunes. That is definitely one of the ways to keep us the #1 boxing podcast in the world. You know, we appreciate everyone's support. But you gotta understand.
Men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie.
Damn, that was distorted. What up with that? DBX, give me a new Floyd saying men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie, man. Damn.
Hey, all I see is
Yo, Gotti. Yo, it looks like we got the UK calling back in. Or actually, he might be from Scotland and in the UK. I seen he called yesterday. I believe I recorded it properly. Paul in the UK, right? Oh no, wait, damn, that isn't Paul. Oh shit, that's a new number in the UK or some foreign country. Hello.
Hello, is you on?
Yeah, you're on. Who's this? Where you calling from?
Hi, Ness. This is Paul from Scotland. I don't know how you got my name because I never gave it, but hey, well done.
Yeah, no, you called in yesterday, but now you're calling in from a different number. I guess you're using some sort of magic phone or something?
I must be. Anyway, listen, Dillian Whyte result yesterday is actually a really, really good result for heavyweight boxing. As much as I love Dillian, and I hope he comes back for this, I'm sure he will, because he was good against Povetkin, apart from that uppercut. But this opens it up. There's no dispute now. We're going to get we're going to get Fury against Joshua. That's what we all want. So it's going to be good. Pay-per-view for Whyte against Povetkin, and the return matches will be through the roof. But it takes the Q out of the equation. So can't wait. It's going to be Fury again. As long as Fury beats Wilder, obviously, and Joshua beats Pulev, then it's all good.
Well, all right, Paul. Thanks for calling in. You know, it's funny that let's bring Fury into this, right? And you see, even Paul subconsciously said, but he doubled back. He corrected himself. He said, even Paul said, we get Fury Joshua. Then he said, well, Fury's got to beat Wilder. You know what I mean? And again, there we go. Obviously, he said he's from Scotland, but here we go again, across the pond, counting Wilder out. And I know it's easier this time to do that. You know, this time it isn't a troll. It's it's assessment. You seen what took place in that first and second fight, and you're making your pick based off that. But you can't count anyone out in heavyweight boxing, much less a puncher like Deontay Wilder. If Alexander Povetkin, again, 24 hours ago, he was Alexander Povetkin, old man. Alexander Povetkin, washed up. If Alexander Povetkin could get a one-punch knockout after being dropped 2 times, and he's not known as historically one of, not the biggest, one of the biggest punchers in the world, well, yeah, you can't count Deontay Wilder out. Now, you can choose to do that. You can choose to do that and be a casual, fickle fan. I get it. But I won't do that. I won't count him out. If I didn't count out Luis Ortiz and Alexander Povetkin, I'm not going to count out Deontay Wilder. But we're going to go back to New Orleans. Hopefully you get the gist of what we're talking about. Morning Afterthoughts. Povetkin KOs Whyte in the 5th round. Changes the division with 1 uppercut. We're looking for your Morning Afterthoughts. What's going on?
So interesting that you come across like a nice guy, but you're really a piece of shit. Hey, with that comment. No, that was a piece of fuck you. That was a piece of shit. We're doing live TV. Man, I don't care. What's going to do about it?
How can this mother? Why do you have to talk like that? Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you. You have a problem? Turn off your station. I'm the best ever.
Yeah, good morning, Ness. What's up?
What up, champ? Did you catch the fights?
I didn't catch the fights, but
not even the Whyte fight?
Nah, man, I was on the road.
Damn. You back driving?
No, I just went back out of town.
Oh, okay.
Nah, man, but I'm not surprised. Dillian, I mean, you think highly of Dillian Whyte. I don't think highly of Dillian Whyte. And I mean, not to get off subject, but that was a bad comparison comparing Terrence Crawford and Dillian Whyte in the same category, 2 different type of fighters. But Dillian Whyte is like an ordinary fighter to me. I mean, I knew it was gonna happen anyway. Like I remember the Anthony Joshua and Dillian White fight. I didn't really see nothing spectacular. You know, they both not Anthony Joshua, but Dillian White was. You know, he was busted for steroid uses and all that. I mean, whatever test he failed and stuff. So I'm not surprised with Dillian White. Do I still want to see the Deontay Wilder fight in him? Of course, I'll see that fight because I think Deontay Wilder.
Yo, I see y'all. I see y'all in the chat. I'm telling you, I've been holding this. Don't make me start doing shows on this. I see somebody talking about and it's the major. Okay, I'm gonna single you out so that we make sure we don't see no more of those type of comments. Cause I will come for yours. Cause AJ, Fury, and Wilder got up. I ain't even gonna finish the sentence. So be careful what you type. AJ, Wilder, Fury got up. King Essex, talk to me.
Just like the king is what I mean. The king is what I mean.
Yo, TBV, the morning after, man. What do I think, man? Yo, it's funny, man, because I don't want to be the one to say it because I don't want to sound like a UK sympathizer. But I just want to make sure the knockout was so powerful looking. It was so powerful looking. I could only ask to see a B sample. Now, both of these dudes could pop. That's irregardless. What does this do for the heavyweight division? Yo, it put the same people that was already in place back in place. So you still cannot. Yeah, and by the way, if Povetkin does this to Whyte, and I respect anybody get in the ring, but yo, a glancing right hand from Deontay Wilder might put my man down. So, yo, anybody that brings out a shot, it's a live body, man. The last thing a fighter loses is his power and his wit. That's my call.
All right, King Amin, thanks for calling in. We got Juan in the BX.
What's good, Ness?
What up?
You alone today, bro?
You know it, Solo Dolo, Scarface no Manolo.
Yo, that shit was crazy yesterday. I did try to press the mute button when you hit me up, but that was like a Manny Pacquiao versus Marquez. Manny Pacquiao was Marquez came out of nowhere. I mean, it just knocked him straight out cold. Same thing that happened. As soon as I saw Povetkin's hands in that move, I said, it's a wrap. Homeboy done. He looked like he died in there and shit. I was hoping he did the Undertaker like Fury, but that didn't happen. And if he did do it, he would have got hit by the ropes and went back down because he was like on the other side. It would have probably been funny if I messed up at the same time. But you know, they would have made like 1,000 memes, whatever. About him. But yeah, that's my call, bro. That shit was crazy. Hopefully, we still get that Wilder fight. Be good, Ness.
All right. Let's see. That's everybody. All right. Boom, boom, boom. Lewis, we could try you one more time. Going once. No, Lewis. All right. That is everybody. Catch us on the next one, 7 p.m. Eastern for your Sunday evening Crow show. Do say.